The very last How to Play Like a Pro series, I asked you, who do you want to see featured next on the series? And an overwhelming majority, a countless, endless amount of you, all said the same thing. You said, Riggs, bring us HBxSHABBIR, the #1 ranked Asia player in the world. Bring him on Riggs Gaming. So what did we do? Well, we got HBxSHABBIR. What's going on, guys? This is Riggs, and like you guys saw in the intro, ask and you shall receive. I do want to start off by giving a huge thank you to everybody that watched and supported the video that I did featuring X-Fate. In case you missed that one, or any of the pros that we featured so far in this series, I'll definitely leave a link to the playlist down in the description. Make sure you check it out. I mean, we're literally learning from the best, you guys. So make sure you guys check out these videos. And I want to give a special shout out to the person we're featuring in this video, which is none other than Shabbir. His in-game name is HBxSHABBIR. We'll go ahead and get into his clan, and we're going to break down everything, you guys. The tips and tricks, what his favorite weapon loadouts are, what his favorite map is. I mean, everything. How he became the #1 player in Asia. That's all I hear in my comments all the time. If I feature someone else, or if I do my gameplay, they're like, oh, your gameplay is the equivalency of like bronze in Asia. So I wanted to see what the gameplay would look like from somebody actually not only playing in Asia. You guys understand, this is the #1 player in Season 8. That is insane. I want to give a big shout out to his team that was more than generous with answering these questions and breaking everything down, contacting him. It wasn't the easiest process, but to bring you guys this video, we made it happen. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. The first thing, of course, I asked him is, where was he from? At that point in time, I actually didn't know. I just knew that he was the #1 player in Asia. So HBxSHABBIR is in fact from India, the pride of India. Big shout out to everyone watching this from India as well. We have a big following that watches this channel from India. Love each and every one of you. Of course, I asked him what his favorite device was. He plays on an iPad 6th Gen 2018. And I always ask them, well, usually when it's iPad, it's going to be claw, but I always ask this question, do they play thumbs or claw? He plays 4-finger claw, and again, just like X-Fate, which I thought was interesting, is Shabbir also does not use gyro, so I thought that was interesting. I also asked him when he started playing the game. He picked up the game back in Season 3. Now, his favorite loadouts, again, take all of this information to the bank, you guys. Learning from the best here. Also similar to X-Fate, his favorite loadout is, in fact, M416 and AKM. So you see these guys who are top in Terminator, the Terminator ranking, the Gunslinger ranking, and just top of the leaderboards. You don't get to the top of leaderboards by playing a bunch of games and camping. You're getting there by getting kills. So both of these guys in the top in North America and in Asia, both rocking double ARs. So I asked him how he likes to configure each of these ARs. For the M416, he rocks the compensator, the tac stock, of course, the extended quick draw mag. For his favorite grip is actually a half grip, which is better for mid-range. And then he has a foregrip for the long-range sprays. You guys will see plenty of those. By the way, the gameplay you're watching on the screen is actually a custom room with 100 real players that I was invited to spectate. I'm telling you guys, we made this video happen for you. Really hope you're enjoying the gameplay. Shabbir he's a step above. Okay, and for the AKM, which is pretty, I mean, this is a pretty common loadout here, but for his AKM, he rocks the compensator. Of course, that'll give you the least amount of recoil, and it also, of course, an extended quick draw magazine. For the scopes for the M4, he has the 6X tuned down to a 3. And for the AKM, which is actually similar to something that I do, for the AKM, straight up iron sight, probably the best iron sight in the game. Asked him what his favorite map was. He said Miramar. And favorite hot drop, of course, is going to be none other than Picado. Asked him, why Miramar? What's the reason for Miramar? He says, due to less hackers. I guess in the Asia server, there's a big problem with Sonok and with Erangel, that for whatever reason, the hackers seem to be playing these maps more. Don't know why, but there's less hackers on Miramar. Then I asked him, hot drop versus cold drop, which one do you prefer? He says he prefers hot drops to get initial kills and a nice start to the game. But he says sometimes ping isn't it. He says when ping isn't in your favor, then avoid hot drops. We obviously know there are ping fluctuations. So if he gets into the lobby and he sees it's a little bit higher than what it should be, he'll do a cold drop. So I asked him what his percentage was. So 80% of the time he's dropping hot, 20% of the time he's dropping cold. If I'm not mistaken, in Season 8, he closed out the season ranked number 3 in India for the Terminator title. So the dude is picking up plenty of kills. So then I asked him I wanted to ask him what it feels like to be the #1 player. How does that make him feel, especially being in a server that not only has the most amount of players, but just being number one player in Asia. This is what he says. He says he feels really proud to be the first Indian to get the #1 title in Asia Squad's TPP. And check this out. This is so awesome. It's all about country. It's all about pride. Listen to what he says. He says he got the #1 title for Squad's TPP in the Asia server on Independence Day, which is August 15th. He says, and for that patriotic feel, it really changed him. And he says it's called, I hope I don't butcher this, guys, with all due respect, but it's called Jai Hind. Let me know how I did down in the comment section. But I just feel like it's like he's playing for India, and I absolutely love that. No matter what country you're playing for or that you're representing, I absolutely love it. Okay, so then I wanted to ask him a couple other things. What HB even stood, what it stands for, I didn't even know at the time. It stands for Hyderabadi Boys. Asked what Hyderabadi, what that even meant. I guess that is it is a city in India. It's the city that him and his clan is from. So Hyderabadi Boys, he says it's a competitive clan founded by me, Shashank, Mujtaba, and Salman, and Punisher who were initially a group of local friends, and we had good coordination and decided to form a new lineup. In July 2018, HB was formed. Absolutely love it. He said to join the clan, you need a minimum of 8 KD and 800 average damage and should reach ace tier by the end of the season. He also says, for those of you guys trying to join HB, you also need to join their Discord server. I'll definitely leave a link to their Discord server down in the description. Then I said, what do you do? A lot of people asked us about the last video with Fate. People were asking, what are these pros doing before they warm up? Do they just jump right in because they're all gods, or do they actually warm up? He says, we do some TDM matches before our regular pushing sessions for reflex training and to spot enemies easily. So he's doing TDM. Again, they do a lot of close quarter combat engagements, especially being ranked number 3 in India for the Terminator title. Then I said, what do you do to spot enemies? What do you do? It's something that I know a lot of people have struggles with, or people like to get different different views on it. So I wanted to ask him that. He says, don't focus or look at one place. Keep an eye on everything that is on your screen. He also mentions, we'll get into the tips and tricks. That's coming up. Then I asked him about recoil control. This is also something a lot of people are always asking. He says, I would suggest the same thing that everyone says. He says, and even I have to do the same thing, is go to the training ground and make your own sensitivity. He says it takes time, but it will make a drastic change to your gameplay. Understand that, you guys. A lot of people are always asking about what's your sensitivity. Screenshot me, send me your sensitivity. let me know what your button layout is, this and that. You have to understand, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to you. Everybody is different. And that's the best advice that anyone could get, is go to the training ground. You can burn through 10,000 rounds if you want to really fine tune your own sensitivity. Maybe I could do a video on it to show you guys exactly how to adjust things that you like. Same thing with the button layouts, which we'll get into. We're actually going to get into that right now, which is his top 5 tips. So here it is, the top 5 tips coming from the #1 player in Asia. Here we go. Tip number 1, he says, first loot, then rush. And I thought this was so well written. It's short, but sweet. What he's saying here is first loot, then rush. There's so many times people will drop hot. They'll pick up a gun, they'll know there's footsteps nearby, and they'll just, bam, they'll just rush in. No helmet, no armor, no nothing, to find out they get knocked and they're dead, they get thirsted, and then their game's over. They're either spectating or they're sitting on the bench. So if you have the opportunity to pick up that vest, to pick up that helmet, to loot a little bit, even in a hot drop, unless there's someone standing right in front of you, but if there's someone a building or 2 buildings away, loot that building. You're going to have plenty of time to get kills throughout your game. So I thought this was perfect how he mentioned this. The next one, tip number 2, he says, the priority should be zone. We've also made a lot of videos on this about respecting the blue. So that's always something you need to be focused on, is the zone shifts, where the short side of the zone is, which also comes down to map familiarity as well, knowing what is on the map. If you rotate to the right side and you're going to the short side of the zone, what type of structures over there? What kind of rocks are over there? What type of different terrain? What's going to be on that short side of that zone? If you flank over to the other side, the other short side of the zone, on the left side or the right side, just map familiarity is also going to play a big role in zone priority, and also respecting the blue, you guys. The next one, which kind of goes to what we were talking about, that we were just talking to, about sensitivities and training grounds, and tuning in your recoil. This one, he says, tip number 3, master your controls and be comfortable with them. Again, he even mentioned it twice. It cannot be stressed enough, you guys. Don't put something so important like this off. And once you master those controls, that's when your gameplay will heighten. That's when things start to become muscle memory. We don't actually have to look at your screen and actually select the button. Master your controls. Could not have said it better. Get your bus to the training ground and start, fine-tuning not only your sensitivity, but also your button layout. If you don't like where something is, move it. It's like the simplest thing ever. Okay, here's the next one. He says, always keep learning unique tricks, like drop shot, crouch, and I'm gonna have to try this one. He says, crouch and peek shot to win close range fights. That just sounds amazing. Crouch and peek shot. Imagine that video. All these things, I've already started practicing drop shots after the Fate video. Now I'm gonna have to try this one, the crouch and peek shot. Shabbir, dude, my man, you are on another level. Again, I really, really want to thank you so much for providing us this information, and I really hope you guys are enjoying the gameplay. I just watch. It's absolutely incredible. And for his 5th and final tip, this is going to come down to IQ and just getting a bunch of games under your belt. But tip number 5 is think outside the box to trick your enemies. This could be 1,000 different scenarios, you guys. I mean, this could be rotations. This could be another way like to trick an enemy, where you trick them into throwing a grenade, or you're going to trick them into like doing like a fake heal. So they decide to go ahead and push you. The drop shots, all these things kind of go hand in hand with each other. All these things kind of coordinate. But yeah, that's going to come down to just getting a lot of games under your belt. And I mean, just learning, just practicing, learning from your mistakes and getting better for them. Guys, the #1, are you kidding me? I reached out to the #1 player in frickin' Asia. Who else? Let me know in the comment section who else is bringing you this kind of content, you guys. Nobody. This is how to play like a pro. Like I always say in all the other videos, suggest down in the comment section who you guys want to see featured next. You guys want the best player in Asia, possibly the best player in the world? And guess what? We got it right here on Riggs Gaming, the no clickbait king, you guys. I really, really hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. Shabbir, my man, you are a legend. I cannot thank you enough for giving us your time, for making a custom room and allowing me to spectate. To your staff, I thank each and every one of you. Big shout out to Unknown as well. But yeah, let me know in the comment section, and make sure you guys subscribe to Shabbir. I'll have links and all that stuff down in the description. Let me know who you guys want to see featured next in the How to Play Like a Pro. Shabbir, love you, my dude. Love India. Until next video, you guys, this has been Riggs from Riggs Gaming.